Good, everybody? Welcome back to Jump Dropper Sports. I'm your host, Sean T. Stewart, back here with the full crew, dog. Yeah. They been waiting for this one, y'all. Yeah. Now look, now I already got a comment about my camera. Look, I understand my camera is on outstanding timing. Look, it looks a little outdated, but we here. You know what I'm saying? We here. We had to get it done. I'm gonna have me a new and improved setup next week. But y'all boys, how y'all been, man?
Good, man. You know what I'm saying? Just get a little bit of a break, you know what I'm saying, to unwind and chill and stuff like that. But, other than me, Ace Boogie, bro, it's been a minute, you know what I'm saying? My boy, he extinguished, bro. He got a new crib, you know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? Got to get bells, boy. Had to move for a month, but he back, you know what I'm saying? How you feeling?
Man, feels good. Definitely don't want to plan on moving no time soon ever again. When I say that is a stressful time, it's very stressful. But I'm back up here. I'm back in the Carolinas, back working in the Carolinas. You'll definitely see this crew, this three here. Who y'all see right now, y'all definitely gonna see us a lot more. Either whether it's Panthers games or Gamecocks games, it don't matter what it's gonna be, bro. We are gonna be there. We're gonna be loud and proud. You know what I'm saying? And the sandstorm, I don't got my towel. I don't know. It's in the boxes still. I still am packed. I don't know my towel yet. But the next show, I will have my towel. But I'm glad to be back though.
Brother, it is good to have you back, bro. It's good to have the full crew back. I know the people miss us. But with that being said, we are in the midst of basketball season in the heat of the NBA playoffs. The conference finals is now among us. Last time we recorded, we did our preview going into the conference finals. Now we are 3 games into each series. As of tonight, what today is, what this is Monday morning as the time we're recording this. So the OKC Thunder and Minnesota Timberwolves will play later on tonight. As by the time this episode comes out. So far, what have been y'all thoughts on the conference finals? I think we after what we gave last week, has this been everything that you expected? D Ace, I don't know what some of your thoughts were, but how have y'all viewed the conference finals thus far?
Um, I think so far it's gone the way it should have been, at least for now. I think both teams have both played 3 games, and respectfully, both teams, all 14 has won respectfully at home. So, uh, as of yesterday, Indiana did play New York. I didn't expect for New York to do what they did yesterday. And took over. And took over, scored a 20. Gave him back 20-point deficit. He got a
Cat.
poster. You know what I'm saying? Um, but I mean, for me, looking at that game, man, I don't even know, if New York still has more in the tank. I just think that was just more of a brain cramp from Indiana. No lead is safe in the NBA. Obviously, no lead is safe in any sport. So I mean, I still see Indiana pulling it off, but just a gutsy win for New York. In terms of Minnesota, man, the blowout that they had at home, that was crazy. That was insane. So I'm not sure what Oklahoma City is going to do to come in Game 4 as of today, which is today, as we're like recording this podcast. But I don't know what they do tonight, but they're gonna have to figure something out because that blowout was insane. That blowout was crazy.
Man, I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying the conference finals as a whole. Just looking back in while I was taking my hiatus, it's like that game 1 of the. Really, I'm kind of disappointed in the Knicks, man. 'Cause I'm thinking the first two games when they played the Pacers, you think they'd be locked in. They had the first 2 games secured. Cause you in the Garden, you're in Madison Square Garden, one of the prestigious venues in the NBA, and not even just the NBA, the whole world. Um, it felt like a letdown, but I'm glad they got them one. They got them one on the road. Now they really can. The tide can really turn here if they can get one more. So I think the Knicks is not completely not out of it just yet. I think really the one thing I just see about the Knicks is I think they just really their bench is not really up to par that can match up with the Pacers though. So that's just my view. And maybe I'm wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong, Knicks fans. Y'all see this? Correct me if I'm wrong here, but do, I just don't think they have the bench that can just keep up with the Pacers. So I just think the Pacers may close this out. Give me the Pacers in 6, game 6 here, and then tonight, was it Thunder and Timberwolves?
The
So
Timberwolves.
I think Timberwolves gonna catch some lacking again. They're gonna tie it up 2-2.
Mm,
Yeah, I think so.
mm.
I felt like the Thunder took like a breather more so on the last game they played. I think they're gonna take another one tonight and then try to close it out in OKC or whatever. Try to get the jet lag going from Timberwolves. So give me Timberwolves winning again tonight. But I think they're gonna close it out in OKC here.
So for
Like
me,
that, like
just
that.
focusing on that Knicks and Pacers series, like you said, Ace, the Knicks bench doesn't feel like they have the juice to be able to keep up and keep stride with Indiana. But again, credit to Karl Anthony Towns last night. Big fourth quarter, I think a 20-point fourth quarter he had last night that helped lift the Knicks over the Indiana Pacers. He's going to be the key. And I heard this from Jeff Teague. I think the biggest key for New York is going to be funneling that offense through Karl Anthony Towns because there is a different flow to that offense when he's the one dictating how they score points. Jalen Brunson, for as much as we love him, he's a it takes a lot for him to get those buckets. He's a great scorer, but when I see screen after screen continuously having to try to get certain matchups, and I see you go down into the post. I see you pretty much dribbling the air out of the ball, going to your footwork moves down there in the post. It takes a lot of time off the clock. It takes a lot of win out of every possession because if I'm so reliant upon you to be the sole scorer, and this is how you score. And remember, he plays like an old school 2000s type of game where it's like he works the entire clock, and that is it's hard to play in today's game where the pace is so uptick. Then for the Indiana team that definitely wants to get out and run, if you can't score efficiently, and if you do continue to slow the game down like that, you don't allow your teammates to get going either. And I think that the one thing I see from New York is when they have Karl Anthony Towns as the focal point, everybody else seems to be a better scorer or more effective players on the floor when Karl Anthony Towns is the one facilitating the offense. But I mean, like I said, kudos to Karl Anthony Towns for just really using his size for once. I think we're 10 years into his career, and this is the first time I can say Karl Anthony Towns acting like he's a 7-footer that weighs up nearly 300 pounds. I mean, congratulations to his fat ass for finally doing that because I've been about sick. I'm sick of all big men that shoot threes. I'm, I'm sick of that. Get your ass in the kitchen and get down there in the paint. You know what I'm saying? I don't need to see no threes. I love the 3-point shot. It can be effective when used correctly. Don't overly rely on it. Use that size, use that ability in the paint, and that's what Karl Anthony Towns has done. That's what's helping New York right now, trying to get back into this series. But I still got Indiana finished. I had Indiana in 7, so I got this thing going the whole distance.
I think going back to what A said about the bench, I really think it's more deeper than just the bench. I think it's Tom Thibodeau, and his lack of trust in his players. We've all known him to be a guy who plays his starters as much as his bench, and eventually it wears out. I was also listening to Jeff Teague, and it's good to like hear other NBA players, like retired NBA players, break the game down. In those first 2 games, when you look at Brunson, he would carry the ball until maybe like 7, 6 seconds of the shot clock, and then try to make a play after that. And it's just like you got to realize like you're the focal guy, and I feel like he gets into his head a lot in a way where it's like I know I can hit these shots. I know I'm a clutch player. I know I can do this, that, and the third. You know what I'm saying? That's just who Jalen Brunson is. And it's like when you have all of these assets that you have to be able to run the offense, compared to a Tyrese Halliburton, who I noticed yesterday too, who also has the ball in his hand, but he's more of a scanner. He looks for guys, and if it's not open, then he goes to take over and play. So I think it's just more of a. I feel like this is more of a coaching battle than more of a player battle in this series because you got Carlisle, you got Thibodeau, we got one defensive player, one offensive mind, and it's just kind of like who's there, and I think Carlisle is going to get the best of him. I think I said 6. I think I said I had him in 6. I think, but yeah, I really just think it's just more of a coaching scenario than anything else because New York can play, man, but I don't see them being out coached by Indiana for me.
But so let's say in a what if scenario, let's see if the Knicks can find out a way to get over that hump and they can get over to the Indiana Pacers. Would the Knicks be too tired? Like say how the the Thunder, Timberwolves, whatever the outcome go out with them. Say they go Game 7, or say they get it done in Game 6 or whatever. Get done early to get an extra time to rest. But say the Knicks make it there to the finals. Will they be too tired to compete with the Thunder? Like, will the Thunder just put straight belt to ass? Or do you think they'll have enough gas to keep up with the Thunder, make it competitive? I feel like either way, the outcome. I feel like the Pacers can compete more with the Thunder versus the Knicks. I think they're gonna put straight belts to ass to the Knicks. That's just me.
Well, I'll put it to you this way. Let's look at both scenarios in the East right now, Indiana and New York. None of those teams were supposed to be there. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I give a lot of credit to Indiana and how good they are, but like let's keep it a bean. It was either supposed to be Cleveland or Boston. Let's keep it a bean. I think we can't count out the Timberwolves though. But I mean, I think whoever goes to the finals out of those two, especially the Knicks, I think the Knicks they don't have a lot of willpower to play against Oklahoma City. They don't match up well. Oklahoma City has two big guys in Chet and what's the other guy name? Can't think of his name right now. Hartstein, yeah. So they got him. And Dort, as big as Dort is, he can go down in the paint, post up a lot. He got OG and Josh Hart does his thing, and then you got Jalen Brunson. So it's not so much that New York can face up with. And then if you give them the Timberwolves, pretty much the same thing, matchup difference. Who's gonna guard Ant? You know what I'm saying? Then you got Mike Conley, who's like reassuring and in his late 30s doing his thing. DiVincenzo off the bench is doing his thing. And Rudy Gobert, he's turning it on too. So, I mean, it's more of a matchup for them. But if you look at Indiana, I feel like Indiana is the only team that can really match up with both in a closest matchup in a way. You know what I'm saying? Teach what you got.
Indiana, I mean, I agree with you. Indiana to me matches up the best with anybody from the West, and
Mm-hmm.
because of how they run, because of how they can score. The biggest issue for Indiana is that they can't rebound, and that's what's killing them in this
Okay.
New York series. Is that Mitchell
Mm-hmm.
Robinson is killing them on the boards, and shout out to him. For a guy that can't shoot a free throw, he should not be able to have the effect he has on the game this way. Like he's still a matchup problem for Indiana, and that's a problem because if you see OKC, they got Chet, they got Hartenstein. These two guys can score and grab balls. So and they play and they're great rim protectors as well. Minnesota, yeah, they also they have Rudy Gobert at that point. They have Rudy Gobert and Julius Randle, in which matchup wise they just cause a lot of problems. I mean the reality is the Eastern Conference is still the JV conference of the NBA. Like as much as better as the game has gotten, Boston is the only team that I felt strongly about to go up against anybody in the West and say, hey, they can go beat anybody in the West. The Western Conference is still too stacked. Like remind you, Minnesota, the team that's in the is in the Western Conference Final, was a game removed, was a game away from being in the play. Like that's how tight the West is. So like it's just it's not. New York doesn't have a realistic shot of beating anybody out of the West. It wouldn't matter who it is. I would have the West. Whoever came out of the West would win in 5, no matter what. Like that's kind of how I got that one going. But we can get into this Minnesota, so we can get into this Minnesota OKC series real quick. Um, with that series is going the exact way I thought it would, and how we talked about it last week, D, about how that the defensive pressure of OKC and having a multitude of defenders has been a problem. The game 3 that OKC just had, that's not a realistic game that continuously happens. Now, it's not to say that they can't get caught slipping again. It's just that I don't see you school. I don't see you having that bad of an offensive output with how you played offensively all year. Like that's just not, that to me just isn't realistic. Minnesota though, I mean, congrats to Minnesota and shout out to Ant Edwards though. He came out with a mentality in that game 3 that he was gonna take charge and he was gonna be the defining player of that game, no matter whether they won or lost. And he for sure made his presence felt. And I mean, and you saw the uptick on the defensive end. You saw them play like a top 10 defensive unit, which they were throughout the course of the season. And I thought they had a great showing. But when you got guys like Kobe Shannon coming off the bench who haven't played in months and they outscore the OKC starters, you kind of notice it's one of those nights. And so for me, it's really a non-issue for me. I still have OKC getting this series. I had OKC in 6. I'll stick with that number. I won't change up any of my numbers now. But yeah, I still I don't see any changes. I still have OKC winning this series.
That's tough, man. Like I feel like I hate to sound like that old Ant interview. He was like, they got Kevin Durant, but we got Rudy Gobert or something. Like, what I'm saying? Or, you know, um, I think not game 6. I'll say I feel like this might be a game 7 matchup just because the mentality that Ant Edwards got. Like he really don't want to lose. He really want to bring one home to Minnesota. He really want to go there, and it would be very fitting. I mean, it would be upsetting. Like the Thunder just blow their whole season away. Just by blowing blowing the series. I can see that scenario for them. And I just can't. It find me hard to. It find me hard to believe to say that Ant Edwards is gonna go out like that. So just give me. I hate to say this. I might be the oddball out of this, but I think the Timberwolves may go to the finals on this one like that. Even though it's looking like the Thunder gonna make it, it's looking like that. I get it. I know. But me, I feel like in the back of my mind, I just want to pull for the Timberwolves to go to the finals. That's just me. That's just me.
I think it's. I'll say this: depending on how the game is tonight, I'll probably like rethink my decision because again, the way they played at home. I didn't watch much of the game, but I remember coming home and seeing on the TV it was like 44-78 in the first half. I was like, "There's no way they're beating them that bad." Um, Again, I don't know what that was from OKC. I don't that might be it might be a crowd to crowd scenario because it is kind of hostile in Minnesota as well, just as OKC. But depending on how game 4 is tonight, that's probably gonna be the outcome of the series because it goes 2-2, 1-1-1. So it might go to 7. So I mean, I don't even know, man. Like this, yeah. I really can't tell at this point. I know I think I said OKC in 6, but I mean, bruh, that thing might go to 7 for real. Like,
Man, that boy's going bad on me. Ace is, me and Ace always have these disagreements when it comes out of basketball, so I ain't surprised. But D, I'm looking at you as my basketball OG. You the vet. You know what I'm saying? You the hard nosed vet. Bro, you can't be doing this to me, bro. We already put it out. You know what I'm
listen,
saying?
listen,
People already
I
know what we
know,
said.
but it's like it's different. It's different when you predict it to when you actually like consume it. You know what I'm saying? Like when you consume it, it's like, yo, like but that mind you, I didn't say who was winning. Mind you, I didn't say who was winning. All I said was depending on the outcome of this game.
I got Timberwolves winning. I'm standing
It's,
10. I'm standing on 10. Timberwolves winning.
oh
Listen,
my goodness, man.
listen,
Hold on, bro.
listen.
Hold on. Now I gotta hold it down for my OVO brother, Shay Gilgeous-Alexander. Look here, I'll tell y'all something, man. Y'all know we talking about the MVP, right? Y'all know who we talking about
Yeah,
right now, right? Like when
we
we
talking about MVP.
remember what happened in those first 2 games? Could not be F with. You know what I'm saying? Like remember that. Like if it takes a all time bad performance, playoff performance by that OKC team to get you your first win, you still got to go to OKC to get one.
Yeah,
If you're gonna win at 7, you got to go to OKC and get one. Well,
but they also got to get one in Minnesota.
and this is the beauty of this. We gonna find out tonight. We gonna find out
That's what I'm
tonight.
saying.
And look,
That's what I'm
look here,
saying.
look here. Y'all gonna make me get
I
into
don't
my
listen.
gambling bag. Y'all gonna make me gamble.
Listen,
Don't make me
I
do it.
don't. I listen. I didn't say who was winning. I still got my pick. All I said was, depending on how this game go tonight, that's all I'm saying. It might go
Let
to
me.
7. And
I'll say
just
this.
like the guard was rocking, game 7 is gonna be in OKC. So it might be the biggest game in OKC history for real since
I, I'll
2012.
say. I'll say this. And this is my point. The things I've seen from OKC are more sustainable than the things I've seen from Minnesota.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And with
Mm-hmm.
that being said, we'll be taking belt to ass to Minnesota when we take this joint in 6. So moving on. Oh shit. Hey man.
Uh,
Okay. So Ace. Oh yeah, we here, buddy. Yeah. I ain't forgot about you, big dog. I ain't forgot about you. Cause I told you. I spent the entire offseason telling you what there's a possibility this goes the other way. And if y'all don't know what I'm talking about the Carolina Panthers in the NFL draft. Me and Ace had plenty of discussion over a multitude of months about how this could possibly shake out. I told you, I said, hey, we're still in a position where BPA is more than likely where we're gonna have to go, and that's what ended up happening. Now we were both on the Jalen Walker track. Let me not jump off and let my boy take all the bullets by himself. We were both on the Jalen Walker track. But I told you, I said, hey, Ted is very much a possibility. Do not be surprised if it happens. Was I still surprised when the name got called? I was. And after careful consideration, I'm very pleased with what we did afterwards. Because that was always gonna be the caveat was what do they do afterwards? Ace Boogie Smith, what do you have to say in your return back to Jim Dropper Sports about what the Carolina Panthers did during the NFL draft? The floor is yours.
This here was a move that I had to take a sit down. I had to rethink. Like, this is a move here that we didn't do not one time with our guy one-on-one, Mr. Ace Boogie, the other Ace Boogie himself, Mr. Sir Cam Newton. We have never went back to back, got him first round wide receivers that I know of. Maybe with Kelvin Benjamin, if we'd held out Kelvin Benjamin, we could probably had DJ Moore or whatever, but we gave Kelvin Benjamin the boot a year before we got DJ Moore here. Hold on. So that being said, my bad, my daughter had called. But fast forward. Ted, I'm glad that Ted is here. I'm just eating the crow here. I mean, he's here now. Me going on rants, what I'm saying? Me just being pissed off about, him being here. It ain't gonna help nothing. It's really not. I'm going to support. I'm going to root for him. I'm going to root that we have, hopefully we can have 3,000 yards receivers with i.e. Ted, Excel, and Coker. That'd be beautiful. Instead of just competing and, degrading one another or whatever like that. I mean, hell, who knows? Jimmy Horn might be the best damn receiver, He might clear Ted, Excel, and Coker. Who knows? Because Jimmy Horn looking good. Jimmy Horn looking real good, This is practice, though. It's practice. Shout out to AI. It's practice. But honestly, man, this is good. This is good. I mean, I'm not a fan of banking on later round draft picks to turn the worst defense in the NFL history around. I'm not a fan of that. I'm gonna be clear. I'm not a fan of that. But hopefully, these guys are gems, diamonds in the roughs or whatever. If not, then you're gonna hear a lot from me. A lot. It ain't gonna be pleasant. But I'm good over here, man. I'm gonna eat the crow here. Ted. T-Mac, welcome to Carolina Panthers, bro. I was wrong. Hopefully I'm wrong about Big 12 receivers. I'm glad you're here, bro, for now.
Hey, man, and what y'all saw just now, that was what we call growth. This is development here. And that's what we all about here at Jim Dropper Sports. All about getting better. You know what I'm saying? All about making sure we hold each other accountable. And with that being said, I am a huge proponent that T-Mac and Xavier Leggett will make each other better as the season goes on. Um, I believe Adam McMillan does allow for Xavier to go back to that wide receiver two position that we all thought he was more suited for coming out of college. We didn't. I don't know. We hadn't necessarily thought he was a wide receiver one in the NFL, but especially for what they intended on last year to be, he does get. It does feel like he gets to go back to that. I'm excited for I'm excited for what we have here. I'm excited for the guys like Jimmy Horn. I'm excited for guys for Nick Scored and Princely on the defensive side of the ball. I thought we did some good things. I mean, Lathan Ransom to me is probably one of the most important pickups that we made because of that safety position being such a position of need for the Carolina Panthers and whether he'll play the free safety or whether he'll be at strong safety. I mean, again, there's a lot of things to be excited about. This is the first time in a long time I've actually liked an entire draft class. So I think probably the only pick that I wasn't the most thrilled with was probably Trevor Etienne. Probably wasn't the one I was the most thrilled with. Looking back on it, I don't know if I'm the most thrilled with him. But overall, man, I can say I'm definitely happy with what we've done thus far. So I mean, I mean overall, I can't I don't have any real complaints, but I am glad to see. I'm happy for the possibilities of what they've given Bryce Young. I think, like you said, adding two first round receivers in back to back seasons, something they never did for Cam Newton. I think trying to rectify those mistakes and seeing that, hey, look, the only way you can be successful in this league is if you have, elite weapons on the outside. No team is winning without elite talent on the outside these days. So if we have our version of AJ Green, if we have our version of Vincent Jackson, if we have our version of Mike Evans and T Mac,
Chris Godwin.
I think,
Oh.
I mean, yes, like I think we've hit. I think we absolutely hit. So I mean, I'm excited for it, man. I'm excited for the guys that I'm excited for the guys that we grabbed. I'm excited for the possibilities of where we're at. I think my only knock is that I wish Clowney was still going to be a part of this edge rusher room moving forward, because it felt like to me, if anybody watched the Panthers last year, he had a solid impact on games. I thought having him alongside some young guys would help. But if he isn't if he wasn't willing to be a mentor to those young guys, then I'm not gonna cry over spilled milk with them.
Yeah, I mean, I think he just more so like in win now mode, and I guess he's just not in the mood. Like I ain't trying to, teach no young, YNs, what to do and stuff like that or whatever. I kind of hate it. I mean, I ain't get it or whatever. But if that's true, then I guess that business decision need to be made. I thought that more so being he grew up right down the street in Rock Hill. I thought he would want to close out his career here and being a Panther, but I mean, it is what it is, man. Clowney is not no. I mean, Clowney not the player, even though he did go to the greatest university in the South. He's still not a player I'm not gonna lose sleep over. He's not a player I ain't gonna lose sleep over, Bill. So hopefully these guys, Prince, I can't say his last name for nothing. Prince and Nick, was it Scordon? Was it
Scorton, I don't know. I haven't learned how to
Scordon?
pronounce it correctly. I gotta learn how to pronounce both of those guys' names. I don't, because Princely, I have not even attempted his last name. I'm sorry, I just have not tried to mess that up yet.
Understood. So overall, man, we'll see. We'll have more here. Long OTAs go on. I think OTAs coming up real soon. Training camp will be in July? But I mean, we can't. They're not allowing fans there this year, so I mean, hopefully we just get videos or what's going on there. But other than that, yeah. Hopefully more Panthers news. Stay in tune for more Panthers news later on down the road.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, man. Look at, man. We here to spread the positivity this year. But I mean, since we're here, and you got the hat on already, we can go ahead and talk about it. We missed spring. We missed spring practice. During Ace's time away. But I mean, we can still talk about some of our thoughts we have currently after spring practice. I mean, I got to say that Cutter Woods, I'm excited about what I saw from Cutter Woods. The things that he displayed in the spring game, and the things that I saw in his state championship game to end off his career at Westside, I was very excited about. Obviously, we won't be seeing him anytime soon. You know what I'm saying? Because we have our quarterback of now, we have our quarterback of next, and Cutter Woods will be the quarterback of the future. Everybody, so don't get that twisted. Don't get that confused. But I like that we got another in-state kid that I think shows real promise in terms of being a potential starting quarterback. Has a lot of ability passing the ball, especially as a young guy. He definitely, like, him being the follow up to Lenoris as far as the in-state quarterback, and we were able to grab them both. That's a great sign. Shane Beamer has fully invested in making sure he gets a quarterback each and every season since his first season, and that's why I think we've seen the legitimate changes and the legitimate shift in that. Oh, we can believe in this team compared to other years within our program. So shout out to Shane Beamer and his and the recruiting staff for that. But what were some of y'all's thoughts so far through spring practice and now that we're in the off season?
You got an ace.
Oh man, D, you don't want me to go, man. I'll probably go for about 30 minutes, man. I'm just I'm letting you know now. Do you want to go first now? I'm just asking again.
I don't. You got it.
Man, that's really yeah, man. I love this team. Man. I love this team. They piss me off at times, but then I love them again. But man, oh man. How about him, man? This wide receiver group, I'm just hearing nothing but high praise. So let's start there. Um, because what we ran about all this past offseason is we need a Jeremiah Smith, or not even just a Jeremiah Smith. We need a game changer. We need a receiver that opposing teams going to have nightmares for. The defensive coordinator is going to have nightmares for. That you got a game plan for. Remember Alshon Jeffrey? Alshon Jeffrey, you had the game plan for Alshon Jeffrey. You had the game plan for Debo Samuel. You had the game plan for Shaq Rowland, Mr. Former Mr. SC. You know what I'm saying? You had the game plan for that. You had the game plan for Sidney Rice. This is the time when Shane Bieber need to find his Sidney Rice, his Alshon Jeffrey. I said Sidney Rice. A lot of y'all don't know about that. Yeah,
They too young.
Loaded,
They too young.
man.
A lot of people like, who the hell is Sidney Rice? So like, hold on. Oh,
Say it, kid, baby.
yeah. But and whether it be Nick Harper or Maceo Bennett or one of these guys, hell, it's so crazy because we got Lenore's little brother. He's a dog. You got Lee Clark. Good. You got Donovan Murphy. That's who I'm foot stumping. That's what I'm thinking is going to be that game changer. I got high praise for Murph. And that's and Jared Brown, Tease is pound the table. I think Jared Brown might be that. Jared Brown might be that piece that we missing too as well, man. So I mean, hey, but back to the quarterbacks. The thing with Cutter Woods and Aaron Nolan is, I just wouldn't necessarily say that Aaron Nolan got the QB1 spot next year. Depending on what Lenore's do this off season. I think I can see a battle in the works. I can see a battle in the works, man, because I don't know if I haven't seen enough of Aaron Nolan, and you can say the same with Cutter Woods too. But I can see in that spring game, man, Cutter was he would dot stuff up out there, man, and that's and it's mixed around with the 2s and the 3s and 4s and everything like that. So I feel like this is the first time in a long time we can look ahead on what the quarterback is going to be, because we didn't have that with Muschamp. Hell, barely. We didn't even know what we had with Spurrier either. It's kind of crazy to think.
Talk about it.
It's kind of crazy to think. Because I'm like, after Steven Garcia, I didn't know much about Connor Shaw. Yeah. I didn't know much about Dylan Thompson. And then after that, we just went to Lorenzo Nunez, and then it just went all downhill from there. And then Rattler popped up. Boom. You know what I'm saying? But this is 6 years, and that's a 6 year, and that's like a 6 year gap, though. That's kind of sad. That's sad. That was sad. But now we know that in the next few years that we're going to be good in the quarterback position as well. So I'm proud of Beam of that. But my only thing is, fellas, I don't know how y'all feel on it. I still just got some concerns on the defensive side. I just don't know what we got. I know DBs, we got something good going on here. Carl Swain going to be good. I'm thinking, hell, is that? Well, Kilgore, it's one of the Kilgore brothers going to be DB1 this year. I don't know if is it Jalen that's moving to safety? One of them is moving to safety, if I'm not mistaken.
I'm not. I think it's Jalen that's moving to safety. He is still the best DB in the room, regardless of whether he's moving positions or not. Jalen Kilgore is hands down the best DB in the room. Gerald with Kilgore. I don't know how much. I don't really know much about him in terms of. I know he played some special teams for us last year. I don't know if he's gonna have a starting role or have a more significant role on the defense this year. That's kind of waiting to be seen. But I think the back. I mean the back seven is still is more so solidified than the front four. Like the front four, we just don't know who's the guy opposite of Dylan Stewart. Who are the guys in the interior? Do we have a rotation of guys we can go to? Like that, those are the biggest questions. And a lot of the questions as to why I have not bought tickets to that Virginia Tech season opener yet, because I swear for God, if I get to that damn stadium and y'all don't know how to goddamn fill up the A gap, I swear for God, dog. I'm gonna have a bad day. I'm gonna tell you that right now. I swear.
We're trying to convince them, ladies and gentlemen. We're trying to get D and I. Me and D and I, we locked in. We're just trying to get Brother Tease to Atlanta, but we trying.
Man, yeah, if I show up there,
he getting there. He getting there, man. He gonna get there.
No, look, let me get there, and we don't know how to fill an A gap. Everybody gonna know something by the time I leave. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Everybody gonna know something. But yeah, I mean the defense, man, that's just the biggest question mark. That's the unit that keeps me awake at night, keeps me from thinking that we can possibly make a playoff push. Because that's where we were last year. And you would think, no, okay, we're going to keep progressing, but it's not linear in the SEC. It's a tough conference to win. It's hard to keep yourselves in that conversation. Have we done enough? And I think we're about to figure out a lot about what we've done recruiting wise and how we stack the talent. It's just that this group is gonna have to do a lot of learning together. And that's the part where it's like it's not even about talent. So with some of this, it's about continuity. How much how are y'all used to playing together down in down out, and that can't be while it happens at practice. It also has to happen under fire in real games. Open up the season against Virginia Tech, a quarterback that I believe is solid. I think he's a tough quarterback to face for your season opener for a new defense. That's what I'll say about Virginia Tech's quarterback. So I got much respect to them boys for what they got going on out there. They lost some talent as well. So we're two teams that are pretty much in the same place. So we'll see. But boy, a lot of question marks still.
And then, okay, go ahead, D.
Nah, I was just gonna say, yeah, it's a lot of question marks as well. Like I said, it's the same thing. I've heard a lot of good things about the wide receiver core. Um, I had to kind of raise the eyebrow when not Tease, but when A said we looking for a Jeremiah Smith. I'm like, yo, hold on now, hold on, we ain't there yet. But again, there's a lot of concerns, with a lot of the defense for me. Obviously, like just where we at, where we stand, where we stack at. Just me trying to keep up with two teams because I'm still trying to deal with Virginia and us. So I mean, it's kind of similar. I will say this though, I'm gonna speak on behalf of them as well. Like I know there's not South Carolina, but they kind of similar. Quarterback situation is like a little similar. They got their guy, but of course we got Lenore's and the receiving core looks great, but also the defense is a question mark. So I mean, it's just more so of like as time go on for Carolina, like how good are we gonna be? Because once Atlanta hits, once August 31st hits, we gonna know. We gonna know. I ain't gonna be as harsh as Tease, but I'm gonna have some question marks, dog. Like I'm just like anybody else, gonna be a lot of question marks, man.
Man, because last year our defense majority was filled with 24-year-olds, 23-year-olds.
Yeah.
Shout out to the COVID. Shout out to the COVID year. For
bunch of knees,
helping us out.
A bunch of knees and yous out there. That's who was out there. A bunch of me's and yous, grown ass men.
Correct. And this year we got. It's good to get younger. So that's what I'm saying. I feel like we're just gonna have a lot of bit of growing pain. But I'll repeat this. Beam, if this come across your desk, we cannot be on the same BS that we was on with older men the game one last year. I was a lot of pain to watch. I wasn't there when we lost to the Citadel, but it felt like that. I had that feeling, man. I was nervous. But Virginia Tech's a whole different ball game, man. I know they lost a lot of key parts and they lost the key players too as well. But they do got an ump at quarterback position, like T said. They do got an ump there. So he gonna know, he gonna see he gonna know if our defense is ready or not, basically. Yeah, he gonna know. So
T's gonna know too.
I'm gonna know as well. I plan on going too. Hey, and also, man, hopefully Razul Faison he get his hopefully he get his situation because man, if we can't get him, oh my gosh,
dog, I think it's crazy. And the Lord, in the year of our Lord and Savior 2025, that the NCAA is still messing with shit. Why? Y'all haven't served a purpose. Y'all haven't served a purpose since 2020. Y'all haven't served a purpose so much that the feds, the Supreme Court made y'all boys enact the NIL bill. They made y'all do it because they said, hey, bro, what you're doing is unconstitutional. Brother, why are y'all still, bro, we have a transfer portal that exists that everybody can just jump around from school to school. We got mothers that's been to 5 schools. But South Carolina got to get picked on for what? For what exactly? I mean, and not only that, like even if you told me there's a rule in there that says whatever happened with Rajul Faison's transfer situation was illegal. Who gives a damn? When we have guys that have transferred 5 times, we have guys that are playing 9 years of college football. don't quite
I mean,
understand what.
TJ Finley's on his sixth team, I think.
This man have been across all the SEC West. They've been to the damn MEAC, SWAC, damn the SoCon damn near at this point, bro. And he ain't got the eligibility to run out yet. How did the eligibility come even work today? Like, come on, bro. I ain't fooling with them boys, man. We can move it along. The NBA draft has not happened yet, but of course, it wouldn't be the NBA draft lottery if it not for some BS. The Dallas
Get ready.
Mavericks received the #1 pick, and the San Antonio Spurs somehow magically received the #2 pick. Now, I'm here to say this. And this is what
Put
I'm gonna
your
say.
hand down, bro. Put it down.
Pete,
Put it
put your
down.
hand down. Put your hands down, bro. Hey, look here, man. So I'm gonna say this. I think when we talk about the East and the West, and like even the comment I made about the Eastern Conference being the JV conference, I want you to look at the previous draft lotteries. Mind you, I haven't even researched this. I'm just going off the cuff. Look at all the previous draft lotteries. Look at all the #1 draft picks, and you tell me where the generational players tend to end up, because the Spurs get Victor, and the same year where the Charlotte Hornets should have been right there to get the #1 overall pick. They get Victor. And matter of fact, I'll just stay with Charlotte right here. Look at Charlotte's history. When Charlotte had a chance to get the #1 overall pick in like 2011, oh, guess what they end up with? The #2. Well, guess what Anthony Davis ends up going? To the Pelicans. So he's stuck in the West. When we start looking at all of the great plays, all the quote unquote generational prospects that have come out, they typically always end up out West. That's where it always ends up at. So when you start looking at the dichotomy of how these conferences shake out and why is the West so much better than the East, well, look at the drafting. Look at where the best prospects are going to. Like last year, all right, you got Alex Sarr. We don't know anybody from last year's draft class. The only person we talk about Bronny James more than anybody from last year's draft class. Who won #1? Who had the #1 overall pick? The Washington Wizards. Hold that. Hold that. I guess we're never gonna get a generational prospect over to the East. I guess we're never gonna make the East as to me as equal as you have the West, because all the best talent gets sent out West. And you have a lottery process that isn't even televised anymore. All we get is the results. We don't get to see them pull the ball out of a little, out of a little jar. Like, we don't know how that goes. So I mean, with that being said, the floor is yours.
I think it's a beautiful time in America. I think
No, it
it's a
ain't.
beautiful time. It's a beautiful time that the picks can't get wasted in Charlotte. The pick Harper is going. Well, hopefully, this thing though. This the cool scenario. So we might end up with Cooper Flag still. Let me explain.
We are
Because
not.
the Mavs don't even need Cooper Flag.
No,
They need Harper. We're in play for Harper. Okay. So with that being said,
listen to what I'm about to tell you.
Please.
Through all the bullshit that Nico Harris has been through all year, and excuse my language, but if that fucker drafts Dylan Harper before Cooper Flag, the city of Dallas, and I'm not even talking about white people, I'm talking about black people. They going to this man's house and they raising hell. They not playing around with Nico right now. If he does not draft Cooper Flag in Dallas come June, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. Do not. It is a wrap. Like, you know,
and that's
bro. We're
okay.
not doing that.
That's
And
okay.
not only that, you give the Spurs a chance to get on an in-state rival.
Oh,
Absolutely.
Oh no! Oh
Absolutely.
no! He ain't
Absolutely.
doing that.
okay.
No, he
But
not doing that.
look. Can we all agree? Can we all agree that this the NBA can say what they say about their process and being how it works out. But can we kind of just all agree, just as real ones, that this was clearly a gift to Nico Harris and the Dallas Mavericks for sending Luka to LA? And hear me out. The play is this. I got my conspiracy theory cap on right now, y'all boys. The theory is that Okay, LeBron James is on his way out. LeBron James just played year 22 in his career. He's 40 years old. We know he's on his way out. For the sake of the NBA, we can't have the Los Angeles Lakers franchise go back into the tank like how they were in the previous 6, 7 years and not be viable to use for national television games. Can't have that. Got to have them be a viable team. The league does better numbers when the Lakers are good. Right? Hey, you send Luca out to LA, we'll make sure you get Cooper Flag. The next generational prospect that comes out is yours. And here's this get San Antonio. San Antonio right there, back on the cusp of being back in the playoffs and being back in the thick of things. Look, we're gonna give y'all some trade cap. We're gonna give y'all some capital to do whatever y'all want to do with it. You can draft the guy, or you can trade him away and go get guys. Whatever you may have, whatever you decide, we need to make sure that our marquee franchises, that the franchises that the people care about, are in good standing. And that's where I think that's where my head is at with how all this shook out.
See, that hurts. That will hurt me though. I kind of don't want to get rid of the second pick because we do got 14. But it's crazy though. After the top 10 picks in the NBA, sometimes like it may be rare that you find a good player. You know. So it's like I know we got 2 lottery picks, but if we are gonna trade for Giannis or whatever,
Giannis.
I said Giannis. Shit,
He's
Giannis.
not,
If we're gonna trade for him,
he don't deserve him.
if we're gonna trade for him, yes, I guess we're gonna have to give up the second round pick. I mean, not second round, the second pick. That's it. I need to get my words straight. Which I'll be happy for. That means if it consists of Castle, Fox, Giannis, but I guess Harrison, Barnes, and then Wemby. That'd be a good lineup. That'd be a good lineup I'd be satisfied with.
Let me answer real quick. D, I gotta answer your question
Yeah.
because you are the resident basketball aficionado on this podcast. If you're the Milwaukee Bucks and the San Antonio Spurs give you a trade package with the number 2 overall pick, but it doesn't include Stephon Castle, do you take that trade?
If
I was
it doesn't include Castle, yes. If it doesn't include
So you
Castle
saying
or
so you saying you'd be cool with not leaving with a young player out of that trade if you're Milwaukee.
the only thing about it is they're giving up something, and it's either Castle or it's gonna be De'Aaron Fox. So I mean, like,
shit. Sorry,
would
excuse my
you?
friend. Sorry.
I feel like, but I think as a just observing it, and this has been a conversation of like many people. Giannis cannot go anywhere where players are ball dominant, and like it's already bad enough that if he goes there, it's gonna be him and Wemby, which is totally fine. But Castle's gonna need the ball. De'Aaron Fox is gonna need the ball. De'Aaron Fox is probably the closest thing as a facilitator, as a playmaker that he's had since Drew Holiday. So I mean, you're gonna have to give up something, some picks and some of those assets on the bench. You can't afford to get rid of like De'Aaron Fox, Castle, or Wemby. Now, granted, that team is gonna be stacked, but you can't afford because you're still gonna have somebody who's gonna distribute the ball. That's what you need. So I don't think you trade the number 2 pick. What you really should do, honestly, and
Draft Hart.
this might be a sacrifice. You might have to try. You're gonna have to try because somebody's gonna do it on draft night. Teams are gonna want to like trade for that number 1 pick. They're gonna want to do that. That's what they're gonna want to do. Obviously, Dallas ain't stupid enough to trade it, but if the right offer comes, they're gonna trade it. Y'all probably might need to trade up to get 1 so y'all can get Cooper Flag.
So Dallas wants this thing though. Nico gonna say, all right, give us Wemby though. Off rip. Because he tried in the Luka trade, apparently he tried to get Wemby from us. I don't know if it was a fake, but I saw something like he wanted Wemby. But like that'd be crazy.
Nah, you don't trade Wemby. If you trade Wemby, then again, like on
We be
y'all
tanking.
behalf, that would be the stupidest trade of all time.
That means excuse my French, that means shit has hit the fan in San Antonio and that it is just going
I think
downhill.
Dallas has so much power in their hand right now off of the Luka trade that they can trade that anywhere and get anybody.
Correct.
So I mean, they can probably go to Phoenix and get booked. They can probably go like get Giannis from Milwaukee, and then Milwaukee has the number one pick. They get Cooper. They can go and they literally have the power of the number one pick.
They got leverage.
Do they need Cooper Flag? Cooper Flag? No, they don't need him. Which is why it makes no sense. But uh,
That's
they'll
why
take him, and I feel like they'll take him, and I feel like he's only there for marketing. He's not really there to win. He's there for marketing. Like think about it. A top pick white player in Dallas. Come on, man. The
the
stars
draft
at night are big
it'll,
and
I would
bright.
say
it'll
that.
be
I
a
would
draft
say
day
that.
trade.
I would say that if he wasn't cold as hell. Like if he wasn't cold as hell, I would say he was just there for marketing. But yeah, but you can definitely use it. Now, based off what Nico said they were in a win now championship scenario on that. Now, drafting a rookie doesn't necessarily scream win now. In the NBA historically, if you want to win now, you trade away your young picks. Trade away draft assets to acquire more established talent. So that would be that would be the way. Now, which if I'm Milwaukee, all right, maybe I go holler at them boys and see what and see what they got. But unfortunately, they don't have any young tradable assets in terms of off their bench or anything like that that are like young aspiring
Yeah,
players that
they
you want
pretty
to have.
much.
Now that's where San
Yeah, they
Antonio
pretty
comes
much
in because
done.
I've seen like what is it Jeremy Sohan or Sochan, I don't know how they pronounce his name. Uh, Keldon Johnson as well, which does make the trade more palatable for Milwaukee if you cannot get Stephon Castle. I'm of the mindset that I don't give a damn what y'all talking about. Stephon Castle leaving with me. Damn, you don't get to keep everybody. Yeah, everybody can't go. Damn. You know what I'm saying?
I
Like
would
you got to know
say
if
if
you
I
got.
say
Sorry, you go ahead.
if we were to get rid of a young guy, it would have to be Devin Vassell. It had to be Vassell we can get rid of. I would want to keep Vassell and Sochan. Those two I'll get rid of, and then I'll package the number 2 pick and send it to Milwaukee.
See, I don't want nobody that you're willing to give up. I want to take the piece that you don't want to give up. That's my thing. Like if you willing to give it
Can't
up,
have Castle, man. You can't have.
well, you can't have Giannis then. Well, it's not gonna be saying look at each other.
He's like, that's just got the
Right? Milwaukee, hey Milwaukee, if you make that trade, call me, bro. I'm gonna get y'all what y'all need. Because they gonna try. I know how San Antonio is. They ain't gonna try to give up the goods. See, I'm gonna get y'all what y'all need, bro.
So this man, ladies and gentlemen, this man here is a Lakers fan, and he just don't want us to be dominant in the West again. And that's the only reason why, ladies and gentlemen, please pay Brother T's no mind, please.
Hey,
But
Pay Brother T's no mind. Yeah.
the thing about that whole scenario is like y'all kind of have to because who are y'all gonna draft that to? Who are y'all really gonna? Y'all are gonna waste a pick at too because it's like who are y'all gonna go?
So I thought a scenario Harper, but he'll be coming off the bench, and he'll be like basically he'll have that Ginobili role already. Basically, you know how we had Ginobili. We had Ginobili come. Exactly, it's sad. I know. But you got Castle, you got Fox. It sucks. It sucks. But we did a big. But we need the crazy thing. The reason why we need Cooper Flag was because we need a traditional big that can go and score and that can also get boards as well. Now you would think our 7 foot fucking 10, alien xenomorph that we got, you would think that he'll have that locked down. But Wimby is he in his own lane, his own style right now. But man, I really want Cooper Flag. That's just me. That's just.
I want Cooper Flag. I want Cooper Flag. I want Cooper Flag.
You're gonna take Brandon Miller and LaMelo, and you are going to like it. Damn it!
hey,
I don't want that.
okay. So now that we're here, though, not now that we're here, I think we got to have a discussion about what is it that the NBA like. Does the NBA care at all about their small market teams
They don't.
or their bad teams? Because how can you possibly expect the team like Charlotte to get better if they never get a chance at the generational guy that everybody is touting for, that everybody's ranting and raving for? I saw people keep saying that the NBA wants teams to not tank. I'm like, dog, I don't know if some of these teams are tanking or they're just ass. Is Charlotte actually tanking or is Charlotte just ass? Like, I think we got to quit. Like, be honest and tanking are not mutually exclusive. I think you can just be ass without even trying to tank. And I think Charlotte, for the most part, is just bad. Like, I don't think it's about tank. I think they have a lot of injuries that happen each and every year. The young talent that they do have can't seem to stay healthy on the court. There is no benefit for LaMelo not to play and for Brandon Miller not to play. Like, nothing has happened in Charlotte tells me that they're tanking. It tells me they've just been an unlucky franchise for a lot of years. And throughout their history, they've never gotten the just due of getting the best player. Like, when can anybody ever tell me Charlotte ever got the best player out of any draft? Ever.
It was the
It,
Alonzo Mourning and Larry Johnson days, and then both of them bumped heads, in which that just blew all that up. And then the Muncie Bowls or whatever. They ever had a good squad. Okay, Charlotte was the shit in the 90s. I ain't gonna. I mean,
That was
it had
nice.
it had good
Charlotte was nice in the
squads.
90s.
But
Yeah.
at no point as an expansion team, as a team that's been historically bad, they've never had the best player in the draft selected to their team. They've never gotten the number one overall pick. So they never even had the opportunity to me to get the best crack at taking the best player. Like,
They
so for
could
Which
have
is
me,
had
which
it's
is
Kobe
crazy.
Bryant. They could have had Kobe Bryant.
They could
well,
have
they
had
also
Kobe. We could have had Shea, bro. Like we could have had so many players, and not only that, people. And this is the argument that I hate. People
Psst.
love to
Y'all could have had Kobe.
listen. Hush.
this,
um, listen. I just want to say this though, man. People, I hate the argument of like, and Tisa, I want to get back to your point about the teams, the market teams. It gets to the point where fans, especially this year, will say like, "Oh, Washington never gets this." Like y'all don't know how it feels to be a Washington fan. Like, bro, like y'all had a generational talent in John Wall. Y'all had Bradley Beal. It worked. Y'all had Gilbert Arenas in y'all lifetime. Y'all had so many things. Y'all have like Alex Sarr who could be God knows what.
Kwame Brown.
Listen, we ain't worrying about that. He trash. You know what I'm saying? We not worrying about that.
I know.
Hey, bro. Hey, Jordan did that. Jordan did that, yo.
God,
And
don't-
that's Jordan fault, cause that's Jordan fault. But like, what I'm saying is, um, it's tough being a Hornets fan, especially like when you're not only do you not get the best players, but like again, like Ace Boogie said, we passed up on so many greats in the draft because we didn't have that. Like we pretty much got what was available, bro. We took Michael Kidd Gilchrist, bro. Michael Kidd Gilchrist with the second pick in the draft. Exactly, bro. And it's just crazy, it's crazy to me. But going back to your statement about the market teams, I don't think nowadays the NBA, when it comes to the draft lottery, I don't think it's more of a market thing. I think it's a storyline. I think you look at it this year. You look at Nico getting rid of Luca, and he goes and get Cooper Flag. That's like a soft story. You look at last year. You look at not last year. We look at Wemby. Wemby going to San Antonio. Why not? Why would you want Pop to coach like a generational talent before he leaves? You know what I'm saying? You look at LeBron in Cleveland. I was told that they weren't supposed to have no one pick. Hometown kid goes to Cleveland and does what? Shaq literally said um on his podcast that David Stern would come to him and say, "Hey, where do you want to play? Somewhere cold or hot?" Hot. He goes to Orlando. Derrick Rose, Chicago kid. So I mean, like, and obviously Anthony Davis going to New Orleans. He should have been in Charlotte. However, like, I feel like it's more of a narrative than an actual like market thing. Because in between, you've had small market teams who get big players and all this type of stuff like that. But I just think it's a narrative thing, man. But there's no fan base more suffering than Charlotte. I'm sorry, like Washington, bro. Y'all close second. Utah up there chilling. They don't really care, bro. They about to get DJ next year or AJ, whatever his name is. But man, it's tough being a Hornets fan, bro. It's tough being a Hornets fan watching this slip every single year, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy,
Hey, man, I feel for y'all. Unfortunately, I cannot relate. Don't know what this is like.
bro. You hella
I
nah, bro. Cause like you in the city, bro. You just like man, bump y'all, cause
Hey, look here, man. I'm gonna tell
man, I
y'all
don't want
something.
to hear that,
I'm gonna say this, and we're gonna get up. We're gonna get up out of here. The reason why I'm never that upset that the Hornets are bad is because that's a cheap night out. Like that's a good time out. That's a good time. I can go get $20 tickets, sit up next to God. You know what I'm saying?
We
Watch
entertaining
my
purposes.
favorite
That's how
player.
you know
You
it's
know what I'm
bad.
saying? Like you
We
know
a
what I'm saying?
date
Like
destination, ain't that so?
it's a
But we
great
on a
night,
level as a movie, a movie.
Hey,
We a
bro,
dinner in a movie franchise, bro.
y'all absolutely are. Like, bro, like if it get bad enough,
You
bro,
know what I'm saying?
I can park one time and be
The
like, hey,
wind
bro,
down. You know,
you feel me? I
you can
can
get
get a row
courtside.
row
You go
tickets.
courtside seats for $200. You feel me?
Oh,
Courtside
and
seat $200. You feel me?
you don't see the vision. You don't see it.
Bruh, I want to win. I
Oh,
want to win.
well,
Huh?
that's never gonna
Listen,
happen. So let's go
Hey,
ahead and
fuck your
agree.
date, bruh. I don't care about none of that, bruh. Fuck your hope. I want to win, yo. I want to win.
Hey, bro. Oh man. So with that being said, I'm your host, Shotzi Stewart. This is D'Angelo Stevenson. This is A. Smith. We are the Georgia Hopper Sports Podcast, and we out.
Happy Memorial Day, peeps.
power of sandstorm. The power.
Yeah.